Hey
The
guys.
broadcast is
Oh,
now
there
starting.
we go.
All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey guys. How's it going? Hey Gabe, hey Kevin. Um, so, uh, like last time, we still don't have any future engineering slides, so maybe we'll come back to that on, I guess Wednesday is our last class. Think, I think it'll be Wednesday. I'm not sure if we have class on Monday now that I think about it. I think we might not. I'll check up on that with you guys. I think I saw it in the lesson plan that our next class will be Monday. Um, but you should get an email as usual about if you're gonna have class or not. I'll try to email you so you know a little bit more in advance. You can make some plans. But for today, we're gonna continue with Unity and learn a couple more tricks that you can have in your back pocket when you're programming, and just to create some more cool features in the games. So we'll go ahead and open up our Rollerball project. All right, so we got this game over screen. So let's just give it a shot. All right, so we enter the game. 5-4. We don't have nearly enough time to complete this game. Oh, I missed it. Oh no. Okay, so that's what we got. So now, obviously, we could give ourselves more time, um, but add that in the code, or we could introduce some power-ups. So, uh, if we mod one of our prizes, then we could. Uh, there's a lot of power ups we could do, but let's go for this one for now. I'll take suggestions too if you guys want. Actually, we could just wing it. Um, but if you don't have any suggestions, if I don't get any in the next 15 seconds or so, then we'll go ahead and boost our speed when we hit the prize. All right, so um, and feel free to just throw out ideas. It doesn't have to be in 15 seconds. I don't know why I said that. We can we can change this later when we get to the coding. But to get started, we want to get into playing mode. All right, we're going to want to signify that this is a power up. So to do that, we're going to give it a color. I think we've already used the metallic slider on all of ours, so maybe we'll just not use the metallic slider on this one. Yeah, so let's create a new material in assets. Double click, right click, create a material. We'll call it, what are we going to call it? Power up. How about that? I'm going to call it a speed boost to be specific, or speed power up. I don't know if we can have spaces. I'm just going to go without it. Speed power up. Okay. So we'll pick a color. I like their choice of yellow. It's pretty different from what we've got. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay. All right. So we've got our material. Now we had so we. Oh yeah. Let's double click our. What do we want to double click? The wall, sphere, plane. Nope. Sphere, I guess. Let me get a better view here. Hints. Nope. What do they suggest? Click the plane. I think that worked for me. Well, we can drag our way around. Oh, we've got the screen in the way, that's why. Well, if we are clever, maybe we can get it right there. Okay. Yeah, it's good enough. Alright, we only need to see one side anyways. So we start off, I think we start off looking at this side. If not, we can always change it. So I'm just going to change prize cube 6 and just pick a random block, right? So we have a material on this already. It was given to it. Remember, these are our prefab objects. So we can overwrite these prefab objects. And if I go in here, you can just drag this material over here. I don't believe that worked. Do I need to add a component? Maybe I drag it on. Maybe I just drag it on here. So if I drag it on to 6, I did it on 7. Oh well, 7 it is. Okay. So now I just dragged this material onto prize cube 7, and we can see here that if we inspect, oh no, not 7, prize cube, okay, onto prize cube 0, I guess. I'm going to rename this. Okay, just for consistency's sake. Okay, prize cube 0. It's a prefab object just like all the rest. Even though we created the prefab object based on prize cube 0, this is still considered kind of like a child that inherits everything. So, so as you noticed, when we dragged our material onto the cube, onto the prefab, for the prefab instance, it didn't copy over to all the rest. And if we go here, we see that it replaced the material that it previously had. So if you look in prize cube 1, you can see the prize cube material. You look at my prize cube 0, where I dragged it, it instead has the speed power up color. All it has is a color right now, right? So, oh yeah, well, we might as well rename the prize cube. We'll call it speed cube 0. Okay. So now, I just renamed it speed cube, so it's obvious that that's the special cube, right? So if we go back into this material, kind of like before, so currently it inherits the tag pickup, but we want some special behavior, right? So instead of pickup, let's add a tag and name it speed boost. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think that did it. Oh, that was not what I wanted to do. What was the original? Okay. No. Okay, yes. Now they all have the tag pickup again, but some of these are bold and some of these are not bold. Specifically, prize cube 1 is bold. This one's not bold. I believe that makes a difference. Let me try this again. Let me just add a tag. How about this? Power boost. Did that work? Okay, yes, I see what I was doing. Before, so when you go in here and click Add Tag, this is just all of the tags that are available. And if you rename tag 0, then whatever was previously, everyone who previously had tag 0, it was named Pickup. What I did at first was rename it to Power Boost. I should have just added the tag Power Boost, and that's not connected to SpeedCube. And then when I go to SpeedCube, I select. You see, now I have both options from the menu. So then I can select Power Boost. And we can see not actually sure how to undo that, but so inadvertently I also made PrizeCube overwrite the previous value with the same value it had before. What that means is, and I was talking about bolding and not bolding. So if we look at PrizeCube 2, then the tag is Pickup, but tag is not bold, right? Then if we go down, we see tag is bolded, Pickup, and then SpeedCube 0 tag is Power Boost. If we look at 7 is not bolded, 6 not, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Only 1 is bolded. That's because I accidentally just clicked it again. So what's happening is I just overrode the prefab value with the same value. But now if I changed the prefab value, this tag wouldn't change because it's overridden. If that doesn't make any sense, then don't worry about it. It's okay. But that gets into, what do you want to retain its values? What do you want specific to this object versus specific to the broad collection of what we have here, PrizeCubes. So anyways, let's get back to powering up. I named it Power Boost. I named it Power Boost, but I really meant to name it Speed Boost. So I'm just going to go back here and change Speed. I'm just changing the name of the tag, and now I can see the name changed. All the rest is the same. Okay, so good. So now we want to go back into our player move script, and we're going to rearrange a bit of code because remember, you can get to that either through your assets or click on the sphere. I'm going to go through the assets because it's probably the obvious way to go. Assets, scripts, player move. So while this opens, we've got a couple of options. I mean, we have some things happening inside of our functions. So inside it, specifically on trigger enter, which is, we set this inside. We set this trigger, right? We just reset it. We previously had this trigger, so we have a trigger on trigger enter that accepts something that's you've collided with, and right now we only have a condition for the tag pickup. So the first thing we have to do is create a new condition for our new tag. So we just copy our code, other.game object.tag equals, I'm not going to forget this time, equals speed boost, close parentheses, open, close curly braces. All right. So let's go ahead and add a debug statement just to check that everything's working. Debug.log. I'm going to say Speedy Gonzalez. Okay, that was just random, but it's not the most descriptive of debug statements, but I'm having fun, and we don't have that many debug statements. If you were writing a big program, you probably want something that's specific, so you know exactly where to go. But we're not. So, all right. So we want to say, we do want our pickup to disappear. So we want to continue copying code, other dot, well, I can't see my code anymore, dot game object dot set active. Uh-oh, my audio. Okay, is it better now? It says it just dropped off for a minute, but it came back. Yes? Okay, sorry about that. Is there anything that you clearly missed? Did it just start breaking up when I'm going over code? No? Okay, great. All right, so we can completely copy this statement. Actually, I'm just going to copy and paste because we also want this object to disappear once we hit it. And so where our change really comes in is with this scoring, right? So it's still a pickup. We'd still like the score to happen, but we don't need to do this in here. Really, let's just rename, like what we should do instead is just rename our function from set score text to update score. And just for the fun of it, let's go ahead and add a parameter, update score 1, right? So we're passing in a function, a variable, and I'm gonna cut this code if score equals 8 when. I'm gonna put this inside of our set score text function, which I just decided to rename to update score. Okay. I needed to input let's see. I need to put in this variable here. I'm going to call it inc for increment, maybe incr colon int. All right. So I still have to also take this score out. Increment the score in here. Score plus equals, instead of 1, I'll say inc for increment. So now I can have different things update the score as they go, right? So I'm gonna the whole reason I did that was because we still haven't specified what we're doing in speed boost, if there is a speed boost. So right now we're doing, sending in a different debug statement. We're continuing to set things false when we hit them. We'd also like to update the score, but I think the power up is a special one. So let's give it a score of 2, right? Just for the fun of it. And then we also want some other things to happen. They didn't shift around the code exactly like I did, so I'm going to kind of skim over this, make sure I didn't miss anything important. It's important to note that we kept this, we still are inside of update score. We're updating the score text. And actually, I did this in a bad spot because look at this. I updated the score text and then I updated the value of the score. So what's going to happen? Well, I'm going to reprint on the screen the value from the last update, and then that's not going to be good. So I'm going to put this at the end. So after we have all of our logic, then we can update the score. And in fact, we could probably put our win condition afterwards. So what we'll do is, we'll update the score, then we'll update what the score is saying on the screen, and then if by chance we happen to win, then hooray, we won. I'm going to change it to 9 just because now we have a maximum score of 9. I know that it's a little funky, but because, you know, why not just send in a 1? I guess we could. That makes more sense. I just wanted to make it dynamic with this passing in a function. And we haven't seen passing in a function either, so this is how you can do that. In fact, I'll just, for the purposes of demonstration, I'm going to update score 4 here, or maybe 3, I don't know, and change this to 10, because we have 7 objects that will update the score by 1, and 1 object that will update it by 3, so that gives a total points of, like, maximum score of 10. This is getting a little silly, but the point is you can pass in these functions, and you just have to tell it what you're passing in here. We pass in these variables, right? Which is useful. Okay, so now how do we actually update our speed, though? Well, is that a variable up here? Let's see. Look at this. Var speed equals 100. So we just have a variable, right? All we need to do, you know, we refer to our variable here on every update. So in get component says, all right, you know, take this rigid body that that we're moving around, add the force movement times speed times time to delta time. If we change the value of speed, then that's just going to get incorporated into this update statement, and we're going to start moving faster. So all we have to do is, inside of our speed boost tag condition, just say speed equals, I'm going to say speed times 4. We could just set it manually. We could set it to, I don't know, 20 or 200 or something. Actually, if we set it to 20, that's lower than 10, which wouldn't make much sense. So I'm just going to multiply it by 4 because we want to boost it no matter what. So whatever the speed is, we're quadrupling it. All right, so now that we've done that, let's check and see. Yeah, see, what they did was they just took the speed and added 200. That's perfectly another way to do it. They said speed plus equals 200. Now, yeah, okay. I am going to multiply it by 4.0 just to be clear that this is a decimal point number, not an integer. And then we could see here they did the same thing I did. Without renaming their function, they moved count text, and this when condition in here. All right. So, oh, you know what? That is a clever thing to do. How about debugging the speed, or sending to the log the speed? So instead of how about this? Speedy Gonzalez, you at, let's see, and then we can add speed I don't know, I'm just going to make it miles per hour. We're probably not traveling in miles per hour, but maybe we're traveling in meters per second. So I have no idea what units they use, but we could probably figure it out if we read the documentation, but I'm just going to make it up because why not? So we've got that debug statement in there. And again, I made a mistake. I debugged at the end, when in fact, at the beginning, when in fact, I really should have this update after we start speeding along. Where did this update? Oh yeah, okay. And for consistency, I'll move this other debug statement towards the end. So everything is happening in the same order. It makes our code easier to read. All right. And it looks like we've got it. All right, so let's give it a shot. The only link we needed there, to make it clear, now that we've set up our this tag system, all we need is to specify a new tag and give things that tag, and things will start to happen. Whatever we code will start to happen. So if we hit play, let's aim straight for here. Oh, what happened? I'm just driving right through it. My speed's definitely not changing. Let's look at the... Okay, let's get out of here. Look at the console. Get rid of clear on play, because I want to actually see what happened there. See if this is connected well. Okay, just definitely hit through that block. Nothing, no debug statement. So I'm not hitting this tag speed boost. So it's possible I didn't spell it right. I just copied it from the tag here. And oh, look at this, tag undefined. Oh, yeah. So maybe I did something there. Maybe I clicked away from it. Anyways, let's give the tag a speed boost again. Now let's play. And aim straight for it. And still nothing. Okay, let's go back. Still no debug. Alright, so let's check that's definitely spelled correctly. So let's go back to our instructions and make sure I didn't miss anything. One thing to point out that's different is they did an else if. I don't think that would make a difference, but oh, you know what? Oh my goodness, I forgot to save my code. That will get you every time. Okay. Now we have compiler errors, which is a good sign because it means our code saved. So as for what the compiler errors are, unknown identifier set score text. Because up here we set the score text, didn't we? And I changed the name of this function. So I'll go ahead and change this to update score. But what if I didn't want to run into this problem? I'm going to save again before I forget. Okay, what if I didn't want to run into this problem? Well, there's a thing called refactoring. You right-click, you might double-click, right-click, version control input methods. Okay, maybe don't right-click. I'm sure they must have it in here. You search tools. Oh, what's going on? Well, I'm sure there's a way to refactor stuff. Anyways, well, for now, you'll just have to change it. But I think there's a way that you can go in here and refactor variables. And what that means, if you can find the setting, it would probably be in something like it. I would expect it to be an edit, but maybe it's not. Anyways, it's basically, when you click refactor, it changes all versions of update score. Everywhere you type the function update score, I can change any function or any variable name. Maybe it doesn't have it. Maybe I just can't find it. But anyways, I'm going to save now that I made that change. So now it's giving me a new error. it's not compatible with the argument list. Oh, so then I forgot to put in a 0. Now that I told it we have to pass in a variable, we don't want to give someone a add to their score, right? When we start, so we'll not increment their score. Save that, go back, and we're good to go. Okay, so let's hit play and see what happens. All right. Yeah, all right. Oh, definitely moving around faster now. Oh, maybe not fast enough. Maybe I'm just not good enough. But, oh, we're zipping around, right? Okay, so that makes the game like way more fun already. Like, oh, I can't even tell you. Like when I hit the power up and I started moving around faster, I thought I actually had a chance. So that's the kind of feeling that makes people really love games. Is when you think you don't have a chance, you're like, oh, this is so slow. I'll never finish in 10 seconds. And then you hit the power up, and then you're like, oh man, I can do this. So just for we should. Okay, look at this. All right, we said Speedy Gonzalez, you're traveling. I should change it to traveling at 400 meters per second. All right, that's really fast, by the way. We're definitely not traveling at 400 meters per second unless this like one block equals to a mile or something. That's also an exaggeration. But you can see that it worked, and we can even see our variables in progress because we printed them out. Normally, you print out something in your debug statement like speed. Maybe you say hit power up, and then you'd say speed equals 400 meters per second. That's a pretty normal, like what you might normally put in a debug statement or see in a debug statement. But now that we have that working, anyone have any questions? Nope. Okay, so let's get on to the final lesson here with Unity. Adding some really interesting features. We're going to add some terrain. So to start off, we want to go in here, click the walls, highlight them all, and we are going to uncheck them. We're going to go in here, click the plane, uncheck the plane. So now we have a bunch of stuff in the middle of nowhere, right? Oh, yeah, that's right. We also want to go into Assets, Import Package, and click on Environment. When we do that, we're going to hit Import with all selected. So Assets, Import Package, Environment. I don't know how long this will take. I haven't done this yet. Okay. All right. So we want to make sure we'll just click all just to be sure, and then import. You can see if you take a look at that list, you'll see lots of a variety of assets, especially some scripts and a couple different things. Those are all adding features that kind of work behind the scenes that we don't have to care about unless we want to dig into it. All right, let's go. While this happens, we'll go over what we're going to do. So we turn the planes and walls off, or the plane and walls, and we want to create a new type of object called a terrain object, which we haven't touched on yet. So I'm going to go ahead and close out our code for the moment. I don't think we're going to need to go back into it. Okay. We probably can't create that while we're waiting. Let's just continue hanging on. So, it's still pretty difficult to win our game. 10 seconds is pretty restrictive. So, you could easily add more time just by changing that one variable that we set for the timer countdown. You could add more power-ups, add a variety of power-ups. I'm going to give you some ideas to challenge you if you'd like to. Maybe you could figure out a way to slow down time, or at least give the user the impression that you're slowing down time. I'll leave it up to you to figure out how you can do that. And there's a lot of different ways to do it. But giving someone extra time is always a plus, especially people might like that. Also, changing the blocks to be more indicative of their power up. So instead of a block, you might be able to come up with something more intuitive that this is a speed boost, whereas another power up, is something else. Those are just a couple of ideas. I'm getting tired of this green, so I'm going to go back into the project. Assets, materials, comprise cube. I think green is, I don't know, it's not my favorite color. Go back to blue. Ooh, that's pretty dark. Whatever. There we go. That's kind of purple, but whatever. Okay, so materials. We want to go in here and create a terrain object. Create 3D object terrain. We haven't done a 3D object before, I don't think. Oh yeah, we have. Most of our objects are 3D objects. What am I saying? Okay, and if we zoom out, and a little hand to figure out. Okay, so this terrain object is pretty big. Look at this. This is huge, and it's not centered. So first thing we want to do is position it. Let's see. They can give us some hints. Right off the start. I don't see any. Okay. Rather than moving my cubes around, I'd rather just move this one terrain object. So I'm going to just go in here into position and go -500. Okay, so actually that moved it exactly. So maybe it's actually 500, and I'll make it -250. And I'll make Z -250. And there we go, centered up. Okay, so cool. Now we've got a bunch of tools up here. They're fairly intuitive, I think. Let's start with the first one, and also let's zoom out a little more. Go back to the hand. Give ourselves a pretty big bird's eye perspective. Okay, let's go back, select our terrain object, click the up, right? We can change our brush size, start off with a big one, and oh, there we go. Got a big up. Let's see. Maybe with something a little fuzzier. It's a weird looking hill. This is also a weird looking hill, but we're getting texture. Maybe let's just go with this one. Give ourselves a nice mountain here. I don't know. Let's try. Anyways, we're giving ourselves some texture, some hills and things. You can. Let's see, that's your paint height, raise lower terrain, paint height. You can just try some of these out. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's right. There's some. I was looking for the. We want bigger brush. We want a huge brush. I want a huge brush. So let's go with this. I want to really make broad strokes over here. And I do also want to move my sphere kind of somewhere out. Let's make it start at -1, 100, -100. It's kind of out there. Oh, that was way high up. I'll make it. Okay. I'm not exactly sure where that is still, but you can zoom in and see what kind of features we have. And looks like we have some really interesting shaped mountains up here. A couple of hills and some other interesting texture that may or may not be desirable. Interestingly enough, maybe we should add a. This is purely playing around and learning some tools and things. I'm gonna make the brush size go way down. Add a little texture here. This side. Texture. And this is really annoying with the screen in the way. You could probably just drag this screen out of the way, but this is how we have it set. So it's a little obscured from view. Maybe that's not a good thing, but we can give we can use paint. Let's see, we've got some brushes here. Are we going to need a texture? I believe we are. Yeah, so let's just go through this and see what else we've got. Raise lower terrain. You can choose the brush style, increase or decrease the opacity and the size. I encourage you to fiddle around with the opacity too. We can add some trees. Trees are pretty cool. What you have to do is go over here and click trees, and I believe we have to select add trees. Where is that? It'd be nice to mass place trees, but yeah, edit trees. That's right. Add tree. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay. Click this little dot here, and then you'll go to this tree section here. You can select a variety of trees. I happen to like palm trees. You'll also see your own objects in there. Okay, so that's a pretty big swath of trees. I do want to mass place trees though. Whoa. Okay, maybe I don't. Maybe I just want to place some regular trees. Let's see what happens. Click. Okay, so it's giving me a variety of trees. If we change the density to be like 100, then you can see lots more trees. And you can drag it around, and you get really dense forest, right? You can zoom out and add bunches of palm trees. Let's add a tree, click a different one. Let's do some broadleaf, just for that. Let's zoom way out, make our brush size pretty big, got pretty high density. Let's put these up in the mountains. Alright. This is our general trees. Hopefully our other trees will distinguish for us where. Alright, so we're getting still a weird texture because it's all white. So we've got some trees, high density, low density. You can switch them around. You can also mess with the other ones, making the tree height random, and increasing and decreasing the tree height. blocking width, just play around. You can add some variation in the color just to make it look more natural. Clicking the random tree rotation makes it even more natural because they're not all facing the same way. So mess around with that. And then we can paint some grass too. So we click the paint texture button. Then we want to go in here and edit, add textures. And this is interesting. I didn't expect this. Let's see. We might just be missing the albedo, RGB, smoothness A. Let's just select. That's interesting. Do you guys have the texture? Looks like I don't have any. You got it? Okay, I must have done something incorrectly. Oh, I didn't hit select. Okay, so I just need to select one of these. Let's see. Looking for some grassy things. How about this grass? That'll be our let's see. So we pick this one, and then we can select another. Go down, select a grayer one, grass rock. Okay. Okay. Add those. Yes, that's a good point, Gabe. Making giant mountains around the map is pretty handy so people don't fall off the map. In fact, I'll go ahead and demonstrate that. Let's see. I'm not going to probably won't be perfect about these mountains, but hopefully it'll be sufficient. It'll probably look a little weird having mountains covering up trees now that I did it in this order, but it is a very good point. Maybe we'll have some sneaky spots where people can actually leave inadvertently because of their curiosity. Will not reward curiosity. Probably not a good trait of a game to not reward curiosity, but sometimes it's fun to realize that you can actually fall off the map and lose. So you never know. Why not? Games are very surprising sometimes. Sometimes that's a good thing. All right. Well, usually it's a good thing, I guess. So yeah, let's go back to this painting with textures. We got this one in here. I think. Oh yeah, so this went ahead and, if you notice, it's just green. It's all green right now, right? So if we add more textures, we can paint in the detail. I'm not sure that I actually added that, so I guess it just added it automatically. But we can add a texture. Let's go ahead and add some. Maybe, I don't know. This one looks pretty cool. It's very different from what we've got everywhere else. And if we click on this, we can start to paint it in. And now we've really distinguished our reward zone. And we could even, just for fun, draw a little bit of color around. Now everybody can hopefully kind of make their way to the right spot. It's fairly unnecessary and pretty ugly looking, but I want to be able to actually get these rewards. So that's just my own little strategy. The way they did it in the pictures here, it looks really nice and beautiful. Moving your prizes around, designing maps is awesome. It's really fun. This is kind of what it's going to look like. Oh, I didn't actually want to show you that. I just wanted to go ahead and play, and let's see where we get dropped. I don't know where I put myself. Actually, I do remember. I put myself right on the edge of a map because I just noticed that where I put myself. Yeah, look at this. Well, okay. No, I didn't put myself on the edge. All right, so yeah, I got no idea where I am. Also, I forgot to change the game over time. Oh, I did put myself right in the middle. So maybe this idea of adding all this weird texture in was not the best idea, but adding in a button for a jump, that'd be really, really handy. Also, maybe zooming out, that'd be pretty handy. You can, as Gabe's suggesting here, a really fun creative thing to do would be, instead of creating the terrain, just create a jumping map where there's different shapes at different heights. Maybe just regular plain old shapes, and you just have to jump around and find the right height to jump to the next one. And as long as you make it hard to fall off, as he points out, maybe make it easy to fall off in some like traps, but most of the time, you land back into a pit maybe or something where you have to jump back out. That would be a pretty good design. Anyways, let's see if there's anything else. Oh, that was the end of the slides. So, I'm pretty new to this terrain designing stuff too, so I'm pretty sure my cubes are actually near here. Oh, I forgot to change the time again. Maybe not. I'm gonna go back in because we have a couple more minutes. You'll notice we actually did get an asset for a terrain, which we can click on, and we can change our terrain around. We could totally just get rid of it and put in a different terrain. But I'm going to go in here and create a new folder while I'm thinking about it, called terrain. All right, and rename this terrain. I don't know. Mountain. I spell mountain with blue. Okay. So I was going to go back into the scripts, into player move, and change the time limit to, I don't know, 100. Also, I'm going to bump up the speed from the start to 200. Save. Oh, and you know what? I could have changed this. These are all variables. The speed in particular, I could have changed directly without going to this script screen, right? I could have gone to play and then changed it in there. Also, time limit, I could have. Well, it was private, so I couldn't have. But if I remove the private, I can mess around with that, and that's a good debugging feature. You can go in here and click on sphere where we set the script, and I can go in here and change the speed manually. Right now it's still at 100 for whatever reason. So let's see if it updates. Oh, it's going to disappear. Whatever. So, anyways. So, in some cases, we might not have enough speed to get up. Like, yeah. I'm not really seeing enough speed to get up some of these hills. So, this could be a fairly challenging map. I don't really know yet, but I'm going to follow my path. I'm not sure if it was clever that I put this path the way I did, but pretty sure that if I keep on following it. Oh, I'm off the path. Maybe I'm not where I think I am. I don't know. So another thing Gabe just mentioned, which is would be a really fun thing to do, is to. I wonder if I am in the middle of the map and I just put the blocks too low. That's very possible. That would be something I'd have to debug, but I'm really not sure where I am. But where if you can put you can program in these invisible spots, and all you have to do is make a cube that is clear, right? If you make a cube that's clear, then you can. Oh, my game's over. Oh well. If you make a clear cube, I can't even do this spot. Then you can you can create kind of like an invisible spot on the map, where if someone runs into it, they respawn. That's a perfectly valid way of respawning someone or somewhere else. I'm getting into a very dense forest that is not conducive to cubes or spheres rolling around. Yeah, Gabe's saying you can also transform. Yep. So what that would be, what he means by that is you just reset these transform positions right here, right? So as long as you hit it, as soon as you hit a spot, you just set the position to a specific spot, and boom, you're back. And that's basically how you teleport. If you hit something, and you want to teleport instantly, well, you just reset the position, and that player zips right along. And it's as easy as that. And there is usually a script to it. Yep. But it's pretty easy to program yourself. If we wanted to, we could go into this player move here. I'd be happy to play it, Gabe, if you want to send it to me. If we go in here, we could change one of these. Now, I've lost the cubes, and I don't really know where I am anymore. But if we went in here, and let's say, just for the sake of it, let's just put it in update. If time.time equals 10, let's say, yeah, let's do greater than 10 point, greater than 10, and what's and? I forget sometimes. And time less than 15. That's too big. 12. It's probably also too big. 11. We'll just make it a 1 second transport. Then what do we want? Bar. I don't even know if we need bars. What are we trying to set? I might not have time for this. But basically, I'll say, this one's just purely time-based because I thought that would be the fastest and easiest thing to do to test it out since I can't actually hit any of my objects right now. If time is between 10 and 11 seconds, set my position to a specific spot. And that would, I was going to show you how that would teleport you. Unfortunately, we're out of time. So I look forward to our final, or either final on Wednesday, or maybe if we meet on Monday, our second to last webinar. Thanks for continuing to show up. And I really enjoyed this class. I'll be sad to stop teaching it. So yeah, it's 7 o'clock. Have a nice rest of your week.